Okay, it's 12, just a few minutes. Let's get there.
Hi, Sam. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. 1 minute, please.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll begin very soon. Okay, good. So we have 9 people already. So let's wait for, let's say, 1 or 2 more minutes. You can turn on your camera. Don't be stingy with your face now. Let's see you. Don't be stingy with your face. Oh, you're not on makeup. This ladies, I'm also not on makeup. Most of the guys here are also not on makeup. See, Darlington is not on makeup.
I just woke up from bed. So.
Okay, I think we can begin something now. All right. So, from the responses I received in my DM, I can see so many people in the same university. So, one of the first things I would love us to do is to connect with one another. If you can put in the chat the name of your school, the name of your university, or possibly your course too, your course of study, and the name of your university. I think that would be a good thing so that those who can connect with one another, or those in the same school with the same course can connect with one another. All right. So let me start by saying how has been settling down. This will be very interactive. How has been settling down so far? I want us to talk. Let's start with Darlington. When did you come in? How has been the settling down? What's different for you? What have you seen? All the stuff.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sam. I would say, first off, I owe everything to God Almighty for making it possible for me to transit all the way from Nigeria to the States. I came in on Sunday, 8th of August, 2021. Hello.
Sorry, I'm trying to mute the person. Okay. You can continue, Darlington.
Okay. You muted me at first.
Yeah, that was a mistake. I was trying to mute the other person.
All right. No. All right. No. So I came in on Sunday, the 8th of August, 2021, and immediately I came in, I had to, as advised by my prospective advisor, he recommended that I take the COVID vaccine if I haven't done that. So of which I did the next day, Monday. So that took me like 2 days. I was down with fever and slight headache, and the left arm was painful. So I thought it was village people. So upon inquiry, I was made to understand that that's like the side effect that with time it would die of which eventually it did die off. So in between those days, I was able to secure my line. I went to a T-Mobile store. I got my SIM card, and thankfully for me, the phone I was using back in Nigeria, a Samsung phone, it was compatible with the SIM, so I need not to get a new phone. So I haven't gone to campus yet. I've not gone to school yet because my school, the international student office, are still trying to work from. They are still working remotely. So I was sent my check-in documents for them to confirm to the U.S. government that I've arrived and I know. So I've checked in. So currently now I'm in the process of applying for SSN. However, that has there is a block right now because I'm yet to register for my course. As a PhD student, you're meant to meet with your advisor, and that's school policy. However, I'm to meet my advisor, so he would advise me on the course to register for before that embargo would be lifted. So I think later today I have a meeting with him though. So if that is achieved, I think I can then proceed to apply for my SSN. And I already have an appointment with the SSA office. So I'm just hopeful that I achieve all of this before I go for my appointment to the SSA office. So that has been it so far, and I must say the environment has been peaceful. I have a very lovable what's it called, landlady. Yeah, she's kind and she's trying her possible best to make sure I set.
I have a question for everyone.
Okay.
I don't know whoever wants to answer. Maybe not directly you've been talking to. Who among us, when you came here and you saw the way things are, how many of you had it like this is not what I expected, something like that? How many people received such, how many people had such an experience? Like, oh, this is not what I expected.
Well, I didn't think I had such experience. I think it even exceeded my expectation. Well, one would argue that maybe because of the city I am in, but I believe it should be like that for other people. The US is indeed a very lovely place that one would want to be in.
Let me have Aminat, you want to say something? Was it Aminat that said she's not on makeup?
Yeah.
Okay, we have to say something.
Okay, so really, I think I heard a lot of things before coming here, like to Ithaca, because I'm in Cornell, and I had a lot of good stuff about them. And right from when I boarded the plane that's from Charlotte down here, I got good vibes from everybody. Aside from the fact that I got lost yesterday on my way, yeah.
You got lost.
Yeah, I missed my bus like twice. Then
okay.
Yeah, the second one I was standing on the wrong side of the lane, and I missed it the second time. Then the third one I dropped in the wrong location. You know, a lot of things really happened to me. Oof. But people really tried to like help me out. I asked a lot of questions, trying to find my way around, and yeah, they came through for me. So cool. These guys are cool, really.
All right.
So let's dive into how I got lost, please.
Okay. Let me move to say some things first, and we will then start answering some questions, whichever questions you have. So first and foremost, settling down, I know can be very challenging. Someone just coming. I know most apartment may not even start. You are going to your apartment to start bringing in your things until maybe today is 14, maybe 18th, 20th, 20 something. Most of them. Okay, so it's possible that way. I know settling down can be tough at times. I know this period, some of you may either be staying with someone or staying in an hotel or in an Airbnb, or you're lucky to find an apartment that does not require all, all the, if, you can raise your hand if you want to say something so that those who are watching from YouTube can see some of those things we share on the chat too. Okay, so I know settling down can be tough, but really you need to try and settle down as soon as possible, because once uh, class starts, you start getting assignment from the very first week, and your assignment is every week. You start submitting your assignment every week from that very first week. So if you have not settled down, it will be a lot of issues. It will cause a lot of setback for you, definitely. And try as much as possible to get to your department, see what's going on. Okay, meet with other people if you can. For those who are just coming in, I said we can write the name of our university, the course you are studying in the chat, just put it in the chat. Someone in the same university or in the same course can contact you, and then, something big can start. Some people have found their husband or wives that way too. I'm just saying anyway. So it's just for you to connect, all right? So cultural shock. Let me ask a question about cultural shock. Is there anyone that has experienced in these first few days that you've arrived? Is there anyone that has experienced anything like the cultural shock, like, oh, see the way they do things here, this is not the way it is in Nigeria, and all those stuff? Anyone experienced cultural shock? And tell us what the experience is. Cultural shock. Peter, I wanted to say something. Sorry, I'm a teacher, so I mention names in class when I ask questions. Peter, you want to say something? Peter does not want to talk. Anyone you've experienced cultural shock, like things are just a bit different, dressing, the way people talk, or the way people hold on to themselves and they don't relate. In your apartment, it's just like, am I the only one in this apartment?
Hi. So I think I'll start by saying when I got here, my landlady, she was very welcoming. And then it was different from what I was expecting, really, because when I heard in the United States or in the Western world, you get to have to be on yourself like a lot. You talk to yourself and all of that. So I was not expecting, for her to be welcome. She even came with a gift also for me.
Wow.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it. So when I went out, I realized that when you're about to cross, you don't just cross like that.
You don't just cross. So
Yeah, you have to press like a button, then wait for it to tell you to go. So, and that was one of the reasons I missed another bus yesterday, because when I was standing on the wrong side of the lane, I wanted to like shout, like, please wait for me, I'm coming. But I couldn't do that here. Like, so, pressing the button and waiting for me to go to the other side, the bus was gone already. So that was another thing, because in Nigeria, we know that we just cross anyhow and all of that. And aside that, I think those are just the things that I've experienced here. Then on probably the culture or religion of a thing, I don't think there's anything negative vibe so far. Yeah. And people just walk to you and tell you, I love your dress. Nice, you look good. So those are just things like I've observed. And so far
that's
it's been.
beautiful. And you would have observed that you can't just jump to the road and say, hey, taxi, except you're in New York anyway. In most places, you have to follow the bus, you have to track the bus, you have to download. So if you're in a city like that, where you have to download an app to monitor the movement of the bus so that you can wait for the bus, so that you can plan your time, please get to know how to download that app, download it so that you can start using it. You'll discover that, again, you can't just get to the main road and say, you want to buy something. You have to go to the store. You have to go to their Walmart, either Publix, if they have that in your side, on any of these stores. Okay, and sometimes I've seen some Nigerians when they came here, they were very lonely. They were so lonely, and then they started going into depression. I know a lady told me she almost committed suicide. Of course, she's doing fine now. She came into Tallahassee and she was thinking, is there any Nigerian in this Tallahassee? Like, she was just on her own. You understand? Everything was so boring for her. And then she had to struggle, go to class, do things, no one to talk to except, of course, called Nigeria and all those. So please find a community. If you have to find a church, if you have to find a mosque, if you have to find a Nigerian community, if you have to do any of those stuff, do it, because sometimes it can be very lonely. Many times you don't even get to know who your next door neighbor is. Don't get to know who your next door neighbor is, because everyone is just minding their own business. Everyone is just doing things for themselves. Like no one thinks about the other person. So that can be there. So this lady, she said she almost committed suicide. She went into depression, big depression. Well, she started meeting Nigerians. I know a friend of mine came to me and said, oh, let's go and meet this lady. And we met her and we greeted, and we started meeting more Nigerians, and we started communicating. Sometimes we just go out and have fun. If anyone is celebrating their birthday, we just go out and have fun, eat, drink, and do whatever we have to do. So please find a community. It's very, very, very important. Let me tell you, once school starts, you will start seeing what stress is. You will discover that, these Americans, they pass through a lot of stress. And that's why they have their vacations. You see them, they take vacation very seriously. Okay. So once school starts, you just discover that you have gone since morning, you are coming back late at night, or you're coming back around 5, and you have homeworks. You are doing 3 courses. Many of you will be doing 3 courses. And then you have homework that you have to submit, and you have to search online. You have to do a lot of things. You discover that some of those things you were not even taught in Nigeria. And you will start cursing okay, it's no saying pressing that button before crossing, blah, blah. Okay. So you start cursing your lecturers in Nigeria. I almost did that when I came here, like, when we were doing all those courses, and they were looking so strange. They were so strange to me. I was like, my lecturers in Nigeria, you guys didn't do well. You guys didn't do well. Blah, blah, blah. I started saying stuff. Okay, so those stress will definitely come. But in those moments, you need a group of people. You need a community that you can always find solace in. It can be your church. So if you need to find a church, get a church, find a church. Okay, if you need to get your African community or Nigerian community, start looking for them, start connecting. They are usually those people, some of those things, you just talk them out with them, you do all those things, they lift the burden off you. Because when you really start, you discover that the stress will really, really be there. I want to talk about SSN, Social Security Number. I know presently, okay, so someone is saying, where do you find this community, particularly for help with schoolwork? Yes, I should say this. Don't be a lone ranger. Don't walk alone here. In Nigeria, there's a way we used to do it, like their ficos, they want to be on their own. They want to walk alone. So they're going to do their own work. They're going to do all those stuff on their own. But here, those questions that those professors will give you, it will take you discussing with other friends to be able to solve those questions. So your classmates, they are your primary friends when it comes to these homeworks, when it comes to this schoolwork. Your classmates will always be there for you. So you should relate with them very well. Put yourself, be part of the discussion. When they are discussing, don't say, oh, I'm feeling shy, and then you go somewhere else, and then you are being sorry for yourself. Okay, saying, they didn't teach us this in Nigeria, or see this Chinese student, they already know all these things. See this student. See, when I started discussing, I discovered that, see, all of us, we are even at the same level, sir. Yeah, they might have some exposure in terms of research and all those things, but all this coursework, all of us, we are struggling together. We are trying to find our way. Okay, so please be part of those discussions we're having with those your classmates. Be a part of it. It's very, very, very important. Okay, so I believe for your course, for your schoolwork, they are the primary people you want around you. And then for the community of, let's say, Africans, let's say Nigerians, there are actually communities in each universities, I believe. There is, you can have African Association of Kinecon, Nigerian Association of blah, blah, blah. Okay, you have all those associations in many of those schools. So even if you can't be active, for example, I'm not active in the African Student Association here, but I've been a part of some of the programs. I've been a part of the things they have done. I know some of the people, and then we relate, we talk. There are some of the people I can go to if I need to relax, do stuff. Okay, so I know them, not necessarily like being a real member. I won't say real member, not necessarily being active in the association, but I know the people. You understand? I know the people. When we see on the street, we greet each other. We stand to talk for some minutes. We ask about home. How is safe? I have some Ghanaian friends. I ask, oh, how are you from home? How is Ghana? How is blah blah blah? I have Nigerian friends. When I meet them, how is Nigeria? How is your hometown? Your people at home? We just ask, just relate generally. Okay, so that you can actually do that. All right. So talking about SSN, I know Darlington was talking about SSN. You were saying that you've not been responded to, you've not received a response from them yet. Yes, very true. Since last year, since the pandemic, they've reduced the number of hours they work, the way they work. They've changed to online. Okay, I remember during my time, you go to the Hey, please help us to mute yourself, Mr. Yobami. I'm muting you now. Should have made the setting to mute everyone upon entry. All right. So presently, what I know is that the process is longer than it used to be. So because of the pandemic, and you have to be patient, but you definitely get to SSN. If you've not started the process, start the process, call them. Okay, find out SSN office in your local SSN office in your area. Try and call them to know what you should do. It's very, very, very important. And call them, know what you should do. They should give you some time, give you time to call back or for you to do some stuff, whatever that is. Just call them to know what you need to do. Call them to know what you need to do because you need your SSN for many things, including getting credit cards. Okay. Now, let me talk about credit card and credit score. Someone will just say, oh, credit card. And now I can borrow money and spend whichever way I want and all this stuff. Now, the primary reason for me, I'm not a debt person, someone who lost all debt. One of the primary reasons why I started using credit card is because of what we call credit scores. Okay, so in the US here, there's a system where now the system is based on credit, the whole system generally. If you want to buy a house, you want to buy stuff, many times those systems is based on credit. And the way they want to find you credit worthy, there's something we call credit score. It's a number which says to those lenders or to the bank or to whoever wants to, sometimes to secure an apartment, they will check your credit score. The credit score tell them that, okay, this person is credit worthy. This person is financially responsible. So the higher your credit score, the more they see you as being financially responsible. For example, some apartments will not lend to someone whose credit score is very low because they say, oh, this person will definitely owe us money. This person will not pay on time. So they avoid all those things. And that's why, let me ask, how many of you have seen homeless people around? You've seen homeless people around. How many people have seen homeless people around? Anyone?
Yeah, I've seen a number of them.
Good. Any other person you've seen homeless people around, you know that these guys are just homeless?
Yes, I've seen them also.
Good, good. So one of the major reasons you find homeless people around here is because no, what do you call these people now? No apartment, no landlord even wants them to live in their house. You know, some of them, their credit score is crazy. It's so low. Some of them, their credit score is in red. And this is it. The way they start measuring the credit score is how financially responsible you are when you start using your credit card. So some apartment, they will ask you before you can submit an application, you have to include your credit score, or they will check, there's a way they can check the credit score themselves. Okay, they will make a request to this financial body and then they check the credit score. So you want to buy a house too, they check your credit score. They say, oh, is this person responsible? So for me, I started using credit card when I came in. And then of course, once I use it, I'm paying it back. I use it, I pay it back. I'm using it, I'm paying it back. All right. So you might need a credit card. And sometimes it's good to have it too, because sometimes you don't have, there's no money in your bank account and you need to do something urgently. You can, of course, quickly use the credit card and wait till you have money and then you can pay that back. But of course, when you do get a credit card, make sure you pay it back regularly. Don't start paying, credit card company, they will ask you, you pay the minimum amount of, let's say $35 every month, and they ask you to pay the minimum amount. If you are paying the minimum amount, there will be interest on your debt, and then you won't be able to finish paying it. So cultivate the habit of paying it immediately. Cultivate the habit of paying it immediately. All right, let's talk about food. And first,
I have a question, please.
Okay, Joseph, you can ask the question.
Okay, so let's assume you have a credit card of like 2,000 and you left use of like $200 from there.
Okay.
So it's advisable to pay up the $200 as soon as possible.
Yes. Yes. Instead of paying, see, when you have that, when you get that debt of $200 on your credit card, the credit card company will ask you, they will say, oh, pay a minimum of $35 per month, so that we will not, there's a charge, there's an amount they charge you if you don't pay the minimum amount. Okay, but if you pay that $35, you are left with $165. Okay, that $165, there will be, what do you call it? What do we call it? Financial people that increases it. What do they call this thing again? There will be an interest on that $165 that is left, and you will have to pay more than $165. But if you pay that $200 immediately, then there won't be any interest. You are just paying what you are using. That's all. Okay. So for me, it's more like I'm using my debit card, and then because I don't accrue interest, because once I use a credit card, I pay it back immediately. I use it, I pay it back immediately. If you cultivate the habit of not paying, the money becomes so much that you won't be able to pay it back as soon as possible, and the interest will start growing. And the more you owe, the lower your credit score becomes. So once you cultivate the habit of paying it back immediately, you will definitely, you're on your way to increasing your credit scores. And when you have a good credit score, there are more opportunities for you. You can get loan. That's later on if you need. You can buy things. There are things you can buy once you take your credit score and it's good. Different things. Okay. All right. So let me talk about food. And before I start talking, I want someone to switch on a video back and tell us something about food, how she's been cooking. You can see her cooking. What's her name again? Divine Life. That's you. We can see you in the kitchen, or we could see you in the kitchen the other time. You switch off your camera. Tell us, how have you been cooking with food?
Yeah, food, I don't know, like since I got here, I mean, I've been eating. Okay, so the thing is, I have a meal plan from the school. So, like, I've been trying to learn to eat their food. And for other African things, like, I go to, there's this link I order from. So, I just buy from there. But really, really, like, afternoon and morning, like, I eat from the school because I have a meal plan on my card. So, I just swipe in with my card and then I get access to free feeding.
Oh, okay. So do you stay in the hostel, or you just go to the restaurant in school and then you just...
No, just any restaurant. I can use the meal plan as long as it's on campus. I just go anywhere within the school.
Okay. That's good. That's beautiful. All right. So food, sometimes you may have difficulty with eating their food. I don't know if you have seen me share that funny stuff on Twitter before, where I shared the food I bought, and I saw rice, chicken, and then I think vegetables or something. So I just said, okay, this should be good. I should be able to eat it. And I was with some of my friends, some Americans, some Spanish, and some Latino guys. And then we were there. They ordered their food, they ordered their thing, and I ordered that one too. And I started eating. And I discovered that, this thing is not going. I didn't want to form. I just told the guys, I can't eat this food. And then eventually I wasted the food. I put it away. But for food, when you get to Walmart, I believe there should be Walmart in many of those places where you are. When you get to Walmart, you should be able to buy different food that you can eat as a Nigerian. You find Milo, all those milk, you find all those stuffs there. You find rice, like not the. You see, we also made a mistake sometimes and bought the Chinese rice. We're just praying for that rice to finish. We were low on budget. We didn't want to pour the rice away, and then we didn't want to waste it, and we also want to try and eat it. We just praying, Lord, help us to finish eating this food in time. Okay, so you can buy things that you can buy beans. There is this small beans. This bean size is $1 or something, and it's white beans, but you cook it like normal Nigerian stuff that we do. And then, of course, you can also go to the African store in your area. See, this is I don't know how many of you know this now. This is akara bean cake. Okay, that's one of the dividends that we enjoy here. You can go to African store, buy so many stuff there, and then cook yourself. For me, I don't joke with my amala. I don't joke with my semo. I don't joke with my pounded yam. I don't joke with egusi, vegetables, and all the stuff. You can always buy them in African store. Okay. You miss your Nigerian chicken. You can buy. Have you noticed that chicken is very cheap here? Let me ask, how many of you have noticed that chicken is very cheap here?
Very, very cheap. Very, very
Very, yeah.
I've not really gone out to.
Who has not gone out?
I've not gone out to been indoors since almost a week now.
Try and go out. Though. That's not good. Though. Even if it's just to walk in the sun. Walk in the Okay. So their chicken is very cheap, but of course it's very succulent. Not like the Nigerian stuff that we do, but you can try turkey. Their turkey looks very okay, very good. If you are able to get to an African store in your area, you should be able, sorry? Okay, so if you're able to get to an African store in your locality, you discover that you can get different things. Okay, so Divine has shared the online African store, oceafric.com. So check the chat if you need to order from that online African store too. We go to the local African store here, we buy our palm oil, buy beans, buy a walloyi. I may not remember that walloyi, that's honey beans. We buy all those stuff and then we're able to eat, we cook well. In fact, if you come to our house, you won't even remember that you are in America because we are just eating our normal stuff. Yeah, to sure. We are just eating our normal stuff. Amala, my boys can eat amala, eat semo, eat pando, eat egusi for whatever thing. We do pepper soup. You understand? You get catfish. Catfish is quite cheap here too. Get catfish, get all those stuffs, and then because eating good is part of living well. I must tell you, if you are not eating good, people will be asking you, but you say you are in America, okay? Who want to visit? Divine, where are you? Which state are you in, Divine? Divine, which state? Ohio. Oh, I think I have. Who do I have in Ohio? I think I have someone there. I can't remember. All right.
Dr. Sam, drop your address so you're in my state.
Yeah. Where are you in Florida?
Miami.
Miami is far. Assuming it's Gainesville now, I will just say whenever I'm going to Jacksonville, I will branch in Gainesville. So, but really, eating good is fine. It's good for you because it helps you in all ways. I must tell you, I must confess. If you are not eating, people will just be asking you, but you say you are in America. I see how your neck is thin. Because the stress will definitely be there. I'm telling you, the stress will definitely be there. Let me talk about shopping for clothes and home appliance and all those stuff. Has anyone gone shopping for clothes? Let me start that way. Has anyone gone shopping for clothes? Okay, so someone is asking on YouTube that can they introduce themselves program level one more time? Okay, we do that so that those on YouTube can also learn from you, so that they probably want to follow you and learn from you. Follow Aniade. I don't respond to your tweets and DMs. I'm so sorry. Please tag me again. I will be able to go from your tag to my DM. Many times once I open my DM, it's so much. I just respond to maybe first 5, first 10, first 15 or whatever, and then get out of the DM again. So please tag me again and I will see it and I will go straight to it. I'm so sorry. Really so sorry. All right, so shopping for clothes, home appliances, etc. Has anyone gone to try and buy clothes before? Shop for clothes, shop for stuff. If you have done that, you will discover that many times, especially when you go to all those big stores, you will still be converting your money to naira. For example, you see a cloth that say, oh, this cloth is $50. A nice jacket should be around $50. And then you'll be like $50. And the first thing that comes to your mind is 50 times 500. How many people still do that? Of course, you will still be doing that 50 times 500. And say,
I am doing that every day.
So that's what you still be doing now. You be like, oh, more, this thing is expensive. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying. You see, I used to do that when I came. I remember the first phone I used was a $50 phone, because all those other phones are like, of course, I will have to subscribe to the provider and whatever, and be paying monthly subscription, paying monthly for the phone. I'm like, I'll be buying this phone for like $300. In my mind, I multiplied by, I think then it was 4 something or 3 something. I multiplied by 3 something, 360. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do this. And I went to buy a $50 phone. So you will definitely be doing that. But one thing that can help you is to go to a thrift store. Somebody was writing about thrift store there. I took someone here who just came from Nigeria. I took him to the thrift store some days ago, maybe 2 or 3 days ago. And then he was able to get some very cool, nice clothes. The beauty of thrift store is this: you can get new clothes there too. It's not all these clothes there that are used clothes. Okay, so I'll still talk about the driving license. Okay. It's not all the clothes there that are used clothes. Some people bought the clothes and they didn't like it, or it was not fitting well enough. They didn't want to return it, and then they just take it to Goodwill. You can have Goodwill, Salvation Army, like someone wrote there, Plateau said, depending on where you are. There are so many thrift stores in any locality. You can have as many as possible. So go there, get some clothes. Some of those clothes are new. They are like $5, very cheap. $5, some $4. Get some, you can get some nice shoes there too. Some of those shoes are less than $10 too. Okay. But if you be buying those stuff in a new store, for example, one of the cheapest that I bought in terms of trousers, for example, was around $20, maybe 19 or something, 20, let's just around $20. Okay, if you want to buy shirt, this shirt, for example, I think was around, can I remember? I don't used to remember price now. This was around 20 something, just this small shirt I'm wearing now. Because of course I didn't buy it in the thrift store, but I also have clothes that I bought from thrift store. It's not about proving levels or whatever. You cut your coat according to your size. And those shirts that I bought from that thrift store, $5. And they make sense shirts. If I wear that shirt and this one, you won't be able to say which one is which one. They are all just okay. They are all just good. Okay, so they will still be converting to Naira, definitely. And then if you don't get over that soon enough, there's a possibility that you won't get things that you actually need. It happened to me. Some things I actually needed, I didn't buy them. I just said, no, this is too expensive. Someone is asking a question on LGBTQ. How do you ensure that we don't mistakenly come off as homophobic? It's a big deal. Yeah, I mean, just respect everybody's right, respect everybody's decision to be whatever they want to be. Just respect everybody. That's a simple stuff to that. Okay. So in this place, if you have noticed, even let me say this and I'll ask this question. Yeah, if you decide not to comb your hair and your hair is just rough, everything is scattered, and you are going on the street, nobody will even tell you that your hair is rough. Has anyone noticed that? Nobody will even tell you that your shoe is blah blah blah. Your shoe is bad. Your so is not okay. Everybody is just to themselves. Okay, so I know that in Nigeria, whenever I leave my beard so full and I decide not to shave, what happens is usually that I start seeing some people telling me, why not shave your beard? Your beard is full already, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, nobody cares. Nobody will even say a thing. Okay, so LGBTQ, let them just be. Respect their decision to say, I'm a she, I'm an he, whichever way it is. So Joseph, you are saying, where can you get thrift store? Anywhere, just get the map. On your map, I think you should have downloaded the Google map. On your map, just type thrift store. It should bring the nearest thrift store to you. Okay, just type thrift store. It should bring the nearest thrift stores around you. David, oh, sorry, where is that coming from? All right. So next thing I want to talk about is okay. And in the thrift store, there's not only clothes you can get there. You can get appliances. You can get TVs, you can get radio, you can get speakers, you can get oven, microwave oven, you can get anything, okay, in those thrift stores. And one thing you should also take advantage of is what we call the Facebook Marketplace. You can get you can get stuff from the Facebook Marketplace. Once you get on Facebook, just type Marketplace. It should bring the marketplace in your locality. So you see people post stuff they don't need again. They post things there. I'm selling my couch. They sell couch for ridiculous price. The big couch, they sell it for $5, $1. The person just wants a commitment. Okay, so ban you from marketplace. So just that marketplace, you can get things there, get stuff there that you can actually use that you need. I think my microwave oven, I got it from marketplace. I didn't buy a new microwave oven. Even my car, I bought it from marketplace. I met someone from marketplace and I bought it from me. Almost most of those things, even my couch, I got it from Facebook Marketplace. Okay, so you can always get it. Then again, marketplace. I want to talk about what again? Home appliances from Crystal, Facebook Marketplace. There's something else I want to talk about in that line that I just forgot. Now you can also get free things. Now this season, many students are packing, many students are leaving. So one of the things they do is they just dump things they are not using it again. They just dump it in front of their houses. How many of you have seen that before? You just see in front of the apartments, you just see people put their stuff there, couch, TV, radio, whatever. Those things are free for you if you actually need them. Okay, you know, the first time I saw myself and my friend, the first time I saw him do that, we went to uh, drop to trash some stuffs, and then we saw this nice fan there, and my friend picked it. Within me, I was like, "Hey, hope nobody's watching us." No, I wanted to be forming that Nigerian thing now, like, hope nobody is saying that I'm picking something from the door. Yeah, but it's just the normal thing. Okay, Adebola, you are raising your hand. You can talk.
I was actually trying to say that what you just said now, I actually I got some stuff from one of our neighbors. I think the person was not in use of it again, so I just went to pick it up.
Yeah, so you can get new stuff. Somebody said I got a new blender and bed from Cash. Yes, you get mattress too. You get anything. You get anything. They just dump it. They don't use it again. Yeah, somebody said I got my bed free too. So people, even myself, I'll be dropping some things in the dump yard. I'm waiting for anybody to just pick it up. I'll be dropping a microwave there very soon. I'll be dropping some baby stuff there for someone to use. Okay. But of course, there are some things you don't want to really get. Like you're saying here, be careful of bed bugs. Or yeah, be careful of bed bugs. That's true. Okay, so you can get free stuffs from marketplace too. You can get free stuff. People just post things there and they say they are giving out free. We got some things free that way too. There are some things we bought from marketplace. There are some things we got free. There are some things we have given free that will be given free too. So it's just a normal lifestyle. You do me, I do you. Give me, I give you. Whatever things. That's how those ones go. So someone on fellowship applied for SSN. I believe so. I mean that because will you be having an employment with your school?
Yes, subsequently.
Okay, yeah. So you have to get SSN too. You have to get SSN. So let me talk about part-time jobs. So since we are talking about SSN, so many times those part-time jobs that you have to get, some people, some of the things that your school may do is that they put some people on a 9-month employment. It's not 1 year. So, and what that implies is that during summer, you will not be employed by the school. You will not be employed by the school. And for that 3 months, you will have to source for yourself. You have to get job yourself, some under the table job. I'll still come to some questions on YouTube. Okay? You have to get some jobs yourself. Some of the jobs you can do, you can work with stores, be a cashier, whatever. You can work on campus too. You can decide to work with some professors. You can decide um, to work. I'm trying to. You can decide to work in Starbucks, any of those stuffs on campus. Okay, so during those period, you need a job. If you have a 9-month employment, you need a part-time job that will pay you. So those are some of the things you need the SSN for, and that's why you should start taking it seriously now. In case you will have to require one. Okay, um, I don't think. Okay, I talked about bank account. No, I'll come back there. Okay, and again, you should know that if you have a part-time job, of course, the school will be paying you. If the school will be paying you, you also need your bank account. You need to open your bank account. Presently, you don't need SSN to open the bank account. So once you have your school ID card, I believe you can open your bank account. So if you already have your school ID card, you can always go to open your bank account because your salary, your stipend, that's where it will be going into. If you have a part-time job too, that's where it will be going into. I call it direct deposits. That's what you want to do. All right. So let me come to, all right, class and research. Of course, class, don't miss classes. It's very important. Go to your classes, attend class, do your homework. Of course, you must have had your homework is part of your final grade. Homework comes every week and you have to submit every week, okay? And then it forms sometimes 20% of the final grade, sometimes 30% of the final grade. So failing to submit one single homework can have a devastating effect on your, what do you call it, on your points, on your total points at the end of the day. So try and do your homework regularly, submit it regularly, communicate with friends, okay, those in the same department, discuss together. For me, see, I have a friend, yeah, she's from Bangladesh. When we were in our first year, we collaborated so much, okay, even after we've had a general discussion. She trusted me, I trusted her, probably because she's married too, and I'm also married. I think there was that connection. I will always go and tell her, or she will always come to me and say, Sam, I don't understand this thing that we just finished discussing. You know, sometimes she may not want to raise it in the general discussion. And she just comes to me, oh, I don't understand this thing. How did you do it? Blah, blah, blah. How should we do it? And we work that way. Sometimes I'll be the one to go and meet her that, hey, Obita, say this question, I don't understand anything. Can you explain this? How did you do this? And all those stuff. And then we're able to navigate that together. So have someone like that. Okay? Even though there's that general thing, see, you can't work alone. You can't work alone. Yeah, you can't, you can't be a lone ranger. You can't be a lone ranger. You must be able to network somehow. See, this girl sometimes, when I've done my homework, she will say, oh, I want to see how you did this one. So I'll snap it, send to her. She will snap her own, send to me. But we compare, we will discuss, say, oh, do you think this, which way should we go? And then we get things done. When I was preparing for course, she was my main study partner. And it was during the pandemic. Course is qualifying exam, okay? Some department will require that you write a qualifying exam. Okay, so when we were preparing for the qualifying exam, she was my basic main study partner. After the whole general study group, myself and I, we organize our own Zoom session and we try and start solving questions, asking questions. I ask those stupid questions, which I'm not bold enough to ask in the presence of everybody. I ask her. She also asked me those, in quotes, stupid questions too. And then we just try and navigate our way, find our way. Have someone like that that you can always walk up to because things will be very stressful, especially homeworks. I can tell you homeworks are very stressful because you are doing it every week. As you are submitting one, you start another one. As you are submitting that one, you start another one. By the time you do 3 homeworks in a week, that week is over. Another homework for the following week is waiting for you. They are not like Nigerian professors that will forget to give you homework. This one has been automated. For example, as at now, I know most of the lecturers, already have the homework they are giving you for the 10 weeks, 10, 11, 12, 13 or 14 weeks. They already have the homework they will give you. On the canvas, on the web page, it's already there. So every week, the homework will just appear itself. It's already scheduled to appear itself. So it's not like I'm hoping that they will forget to give us homework. Nobody will forget to give you homework. So you do it every week. So before you finish one, there's another homework waiting. Before you finish one, another homework is waiting. Before you finish one, another homework is waiting. So have someone you can work together with. It makes things easier and faster for you. Okay? It makes things easier and faster for you. For example, that lady, when we're praying for calls, I will snap, if you check my phone, we still see those things I snap, those pictures for my solution. I will snap it, send it to her. She will snap her own, send it to me. We'll be discuss. If we discover that WhatsApp is not giving us what we need, we decide to do a video call and start talking again about those questions. You need people like that. Okay, you need people like that. So that's gone. I've talked about bank account, salary, SSN, stipend, part-time job, food, very important, clothes, home appliances. You see different things. Okay, so I'm still coming to TAs. So class, now research. Let me talk about research. Then I'll talk about qualifying exam and TAs, and I'll talk about bringing family members. So research. Now, of course, if you are doing a PhD, it's what they will do is that they want you to do your finish your classwork before you start your research. But it's good to start looking for an advisor early enough so that when you finish your first year, you can jump on research straight away. The earlier you start, the better for you. The earlier it will be for you to publish a paper, the earlier it will be for you to graduate. Okay, so once you finish your classes, or before you even finish your classes, start looking for advisors, start talking to professors, start seeing what they are doing, what their research work is all about. Start studying about it. Ask materials from them. Okay, meet them in the office. Let them know you want to. If you want to be their student, don't just look at them from afar. This is why, because many other students are targeting the same professor that you're targeting. And if the person already has the students, let's say the maximum capacity is 3, 4, 5, they will not be able to take more. Okay? They will not be able to take more. So start connecting with them as early as possible. Let them know your interest as early as possible. The professors there, they will not want to push you. They want you to join their group, but they don't want to push you and say, oh, join my group, join my group. They want it to be your own decision. So that they are not really talking and saying specifically to you that, hey, join my group, this and that, does not mean that they don't want you in their group. They really, really want you in there. In fact, the professors here, what they do is they used to organize seminars, first seminars for us. And they start talking, oh, in my group, I have funding, I have this, I appreciate any student who wants to join me. They may not necessarily bug you and say, oh, you must join my group, this and that. You should be the one to follow them around, okay? And then, so that you can start things early. The earlier you begin your research, the better it is. Qualifying exam. Some schools have what we call qualifying exam, where you have to write that qualifying exam before you can become a PhD candidate. So if your school is one of those that, or your school or department is one of those that organizes the qualifying exam, like my department, we organize that qualifying exam, and then you can write it 4 times because the qualifying exam is usually very crazy. So they give you the opportunity of writing it 4 times. So if your school is like that, study, of course, for it, connect with people. I've talked about studying for classes, connect with people, all those normal things that you can do. Do it so that you can pass your qualifying exam straight away once, and you can concentrate on research. One big reason is this: qualifying exam has a way of distracting you from research. And at the end of the day, the qualifying exam will not matter because once you pass it, the only thing that matters is your research. Okay, so you want to forget about qualifying exam as soon as possible because all those questions, even when after you have passed it, maybe later in the future, I give you a maximum of 1 or 2 years. You've forgotten everything you studied for that qualifying exam. Okay, So you want to quickly get it as soon as possible, get it past, get it behind you so that you can focus on what really matters, which is that research. For example, I still have colleagues, friends who are still writing the qualifying exam now. But for me, I'm concentrating on research. I'll be presenting, I have two or three presentations this next month of in October. I have a presentation in September, online presentation. I have a conference in October that I'll be attending. I'm traveling for. I have another presentation after that. But I have a mini presentation next week. And all this week I've been doing posters, doing stuff, making slides for my presentation. But if I was still writing the qualifying exam, I won't have time for all this. I won't be able to do the analysis. I have friends who could have gone for the same conference I was going, but they'll be writing qualifying exams and all those stuff. So you need to try and get it out of it. And it's not about that, oh, I'm brilliant, very, very brilliant, I'll pass it. The brilliant students fail qualifying exam if you don't prepare, because there is a particular pattern those qualifying exams take. Now, some schools, their qualifying exam is a bit different from the written one. Some is all about, they give you some journals to study, and then from that journal, they ask questions. It's oral, you go there physically. Yes, we have that too, but our own is that you first write rigorous physics exam. After writing the rigorous physics exam, then you now come to present your research work or what you've been doing, talk to them about it, and then they say, okay, you have passed your qualifying exam, your oral qualifying exam, written qualifying exam. Some, it will be about journals, just study journals. They may give you 60 journals, 50 journals, study it, and then you come up with things from those journals. So whichever one it is, figure it out and pass it quickly so that you can concentrate on your own research work. It is always good to start early. Someone saying there seems to be an ever-increasing material to study. How do you balance this with research and coursework? Yes, and that's why I talk about priority. Now, for your coursework, I would say first year, concentrate purely on your coursework. You can have some time on research and all those stuff, but concentrate purely on your coursework and pass it so that you can leave those things behind. Once you pass your coursework, once you finish your coursework, once you start research, it is good for you to be able to concentrate on research and not be distracted with coursework. Coursework is very diverse, right? Many of those things you forget them. It is only your research that you remember. In fact, your graduating will be based on your research work. So you want to concentrate more on that if you have the opportunity. And the way to create the opportunity is to be done with the coursework as soon as possible. Now let's go to TA. For those that will be TAing, let me say congratulations to you, because one of the hardest things you will do will be grading of scripts. Teaching is easy, right? It is when you start grading 100 scripts that you know that, okay, and you have to do it every week, because the lab work, either lab work or whichever one you are doing, or if you are doing recitation with the student, and they have to submit to you, they will have to do the submission every week. So see, the way you are submitting your assignment every week, sometimes it will be some students that are marking it. Sometimes it may be, not even sometimes, most of the times, it will be some higher students, some higher older colleagues who are grading those scripts. So as you are doing it and submitting it every week, they too are grading it every week. So you too, you will have some gradings to do every week. So after you teach your students, they will write their report. You will be the one to grade it every week. So some tips when you teach in class, try as much as possible. You will see some of the cultural shock that I experienced was in the way of dressing. During my TAing, I'll just see a lady come in and wear bomb shot to class and just wear one top on it. And in my mind, I'm like, what is this? You understand? That is in my mind. I won't say it out, of course, because you're allowed to do anything you want here. You want to wear anything. You want to wear, you want to dress as if you are going to the beach. Yeah, you can do that. Of course, the student, I remember the time I was going around, those students would call me, please come and explain this. And then you have to go from table to table. And this girl was the way she was dressed was like, oh my God. And then I couldn't even stand in front of her conveniently because of what she was wearing, because everything was exposed. I mean, it was like uh, great exposure. And then I had to, but I must explain something to her. So I just have to use style, look, ask my eyes to look somewhere else while I'm trying to explain, or fix my eyes on that book, on those things I'm writing, and not allow my eyes to move to the right or to the left. Okay, so you, of course, you cannot criticize the student and say, hey, don't do this, blah, blah, blah. Be patient with them. Many of them, I mean, they are just undergraduates. Many of them, they may not be as brilliant as you are expecting. Let me not raise your expectation too high. They may not, there's a way we used to think from Nigeria. We say, they are too good, they are so good, they are so blah, blah, blah. They may not be as superb as you are expecting. And see, those students here, they are not afraid of asking, in quotes, dumb or stupid questions, not the way our professors will put it. And they will say, that's a stupid question. Don't tell anybody that the person has asked a stupid question. Just explain to the best of your ability. Of course, we also have your own office hours. Office hours means a time during the week when students can come to the professor and ask any question they have problem with. Okay, your professors will also have office hours. You also go to your professor's office hours to ask questions. The same way you will also have office hours. They will come to your office hour to ask questions. So try and study before going to class. One good impression you want to create on the first day is that you know what you are doing. Okay, so prepare very well for your first class as a TA. Prepare very well. Once you create that impression that you are not good, that you are not good enough, the student will start complaining about you. They start complaining about you, and then they may have to change you, make you do something else, make you do some other things. The professors will be concerned about your capability if the students start complaining about you. So make sure you prepare well and then go to class, dish things out for them, let them know that, yeah, this guy knows what he's doing, that something did there. Show them that something did there. I remember during my TA, there are these girls, I mean, they talk a lot. Of course, I'm very approachable. I'm still very approachable, not I was. I'm very approachable. They talk to me, hey, Sam. Of course, they will call you by your name. Don't expect Auntie Temi, or they say Auntie Aminat, or Uncle Olayinka. Where did I get my headset? I got it in the US, actually. I got it on Amazon.
Uncle Majid.
So don't expect uncle or auntie or whatever. They'll call you by your name. The first time one of those students called me and said, Samuel, I think you should, the way I looked at the girl, like, in my mind, they were like, are you talking to me? Because I used to teach in Nigeria, of course. I used to teach A-levels in Nigeria. So I know the kind of respect the student puts in calling my name. All right, but it doesn't mean that they are not respectful. They are really, really respectful. They are very respectful. Once they come in, they'll call your name, mention your name, and greet you. Once they're going, they will ask you, oh, have a good one, have a good night, have a good so. Okay. But they will ask questions. They will call your name, they will ask questions. Any question, they can ask any question, and they can ask the same question in different form so many times. And you have to keep explaining to them until they get what you're explaining to them. Okay, so there were these girls who were very, in quotes, close to me in the sense that we've interacted so much. In the course of me, once I teach them what I have to teach them, and I ask them to start doing the experiments, and then I move around to see what they are doing to make sure that they are doing it correctly. So that's one good thing you should do too. Walk around the tables, make sure they are doing what they should do correctly. If you are teaching a lab, if you are doing recitation and then you are just helping them to solve problems, make sure they are solving it correctly, because your students should be passing too. You don't expect them to fail, you want them to pass. So help them as much as possible. They will ask you things that they should put down, okay? And you'll still be the one to grade it. So they're expecting you to tell them the answer. You understand? So most times, of course, students in my class ask professors that way too. The homework he has given to us, and they expect the professor to say the answer back to them. Most times, just say it in another way, in another format, for them to be able to pick the answer from there. Just give them the clue, lead them on. You understand? In Nigeria, you can't ask that. You'll be like, You're asking for the solution. I gave you the question. Now, why are you asking for the solution? You understand? So lead them on, just lead them in the right path. So these girls, we've related so much by the virtue of the girl is very good, very, very good. And some of those are friends, those in our group. So we're just talking. I can't remember how they got to know. I think the girl raised her hand and asked me that, am I a Nigerian? Like something like that. Or I was talking about something that has to do with Nigeria. I can't really remember. And then the girl was like, yes, I said it. He's a Nigerian. I was asking her that, why did she say that? She was telling her friend that she's been telling her friend for weeks that I'm a Nigerian. She said she has met a Nigerian before, taught her in her high school that Nigerians are very good. Nigerians are very smart. This and that. So how did I get there? Create a very good impression from the first start. You don't demand respect. You earn the respect. You earn their trust. They're able to trust you and say, oh, this guy is good. This guy knows what he's talking about. Okay, you earn that respect. You earn that trust. They will come to your office hours. They will tell you good stuff. They will tell you things. Okay, they will ask you to, of course, teach them stuff and all those other things. Okay, so create that very good impression. And one thing you should know again is that at the end of every semester, they will make a what do you call it? They will have to fill a form about you to assess you. It's an assessment form. So they will have to assess you and say, oh, you are good. And it does not put their name there. You won't find their name there. So you can't say, you can't even know who is writing good thing about you or who is writing bad thing about you. So, and once the assessment has been done, your own professors will see the assessment those students have made of you. So teach them well, create good impression, create a very good rapport with them, be approachable, be their friends. Okay, don't be high up there. Like, see, your student will come to you, they will bring knuckles and they will say, chop knuckles. Don't say, don't do like this, like, who is chopping knuckles? Are you okay? Don't say, are you okay? Chop that knuckles with them. They want to give you high five. Give them high five. No one of those guys used to sit in front. Sometimes you just say, high five. Give the high five. Then you see, you want to create good rapport. You want them to be able to come to you with their problems. Okay, because what a TA is all about is helping the students to solve their problems. You don't say, are you okay? Don't say who is your mate. Say, am I your mate? I'm not your mate. Don't say that. All right. So let me answer a question on YouTube that someone asked about health insurance. I know some of you would have been doing health insurance. Now, if the school has given you assistantships, and then they 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 probably have offered you an health insurance, or there's an health insurance plan with which they will be deducting money from your account every month. Okay, so someone is asking there that, is there a possible way to get a cheaper health insurance? Now, FSU, for example, you need to register with the health insurance. They have a package for teaching of graduate assistants where the health insurance has been subsidized. So we don't pay the full amount, we pay a subsidized amount. And I believe that is the same for many schools. But if you have not been given an assistantship and then you are trying to sort things out by yourself, you may decide to buy your own health insurance. Okay? There's a period when I think it should be September or November. There's what they call open market. Is it open market or something like that, where you can buy health insurance? Is dental insurance worth it? For me, I don't have a dental insurance. I didn't include it. My children have dental insurance. They've not even used it before, not even once. And they've been sending us messages to come and use it at least once, but we've not even used it before. So I don't have a dental insurance. So the health insurance, you can buy a cheaper one from open market if you don't have the assistance from the school. And there is nothing binding you to get the health insurance from the school. Okay? Especially if it's not subsidized. If it's, you can, of course, even if you have an assistantship, you can decide to get from the open market if you think something is cheaper. You can get something cheaper there. But the truth is, for most teaching assistant, or graduate assistant, the school usually subsidize the insurance for the student. So they just deduct the amount from your account, from your stipend every month. Right. So is dental insurance worth it? I can't say. If for someone who has tooth problems, the dental insurance may be worth it, because you can have as many insurance as possible depending on what you have. For me, I'm not sure I've used my health insurance maybe once or twice before, and yeah, I got drugs, I got cheap medicines. Let me say it again that you don't necessarily call, not the way we refer to drugs in Nigeria now, drugs like drugs. They don't do that here. They call it medicine. When you are mentioning drugs, yeah, it means something else. Okay, when you're mentioning, oh, drug, it actually means something else. Someone may be thinking heroin, all those fentanyl, or all those stuffs. Okay, so let me move to the last thing I want to talk about before throwing the floor open for questions, and that is bringing family members on F2. And when I mean family members, I'm not talking about your sister or your brother. I'm talking about those who have immediate family, like wife, did I say wives? Yeah, like wives, like husbands, like children. Okay, those are your immediate family members. You can bring your immediate family member, and if you want to bring them, this is the time to start doing that. You can bring them on F2 visa. Okay, you can bring them on F2 visa. You are on F1 visa. You can bring them on F2 visa. This is the time to start processing their I-20. Okay, so the same way you process your I-20 from the international office, whatever name they call it in school, you can start processing the I-20 of your spouse and your child or children now. And then they can start preparing to go to the embassy. What they will simply need is a proof of fund that you'll be able to cater for them. Of course, the proof of fund can come from a sponsor, someone you know who can sponsor them. Do we have a specific amount that they want you to be able to cover? So if you get, what do you call it now? Statement of account from someone, from a sponsor, does not matter. The person can be in Nigeria, the person can be here. If you can get that bank account and send it to them, they will start processing the I-20 for your family member. And then the family member should be able to go to the embassy and get their visa. And within 6 months, they can join you. My own family joined me 6 months after I came here. I came here in July. My wife and son joined me in December. They got their visa in October or November. So immediately I got here, I started processing it straight away. I didn't waste time because I can't be for my wife for too long. It's dangerous, it's risky. How many men understand what I'm talking about here? Yeah. So you can't be away from your wife for too long. You can't be away from your husband for too long.
Wow.
Our
You want
girlfriend.
to tension us, Dr. Sam. You want to be
Sorry,
tensioning us.
I'm tensioning you.
Wow. Yes, now we will
Dr. Sam, our
wow.
girlfriend, our girlfriend part of you.
Sorry,
She's not part.
someone was
She's
talking.
not part.
Someone was talking about girlfriend.
Yes.
Does your girlfriend fall into that category? Go and marry.
Have you?
Wahala for person who won't marry.
Allow for person who don't get wife.
Or you tell your girlfriend to apply to schools. You tell her to apply to schools and gain admission. Simple.
Mm-hmm. So, and of course, I have friends who went back to Nigeria and married their girl, their babe, or their fiancé, or whatever. And then within 2-3 months, the person joined. And then you see they started doing what married couples can do. So it's very, very important. Why are you laughing? If you are not married, you have your pillow to hug for now, okay? In fact, you don't need to hug pillow. You don't need to hug anything.
Hug your research.
Your academic is your major focus. You understand? Your career. You have the career in front of you. And but if you're married, seriously, start processing their I-20 so that they can go and get their F2 visa as soon as possible. As soon as possible. You want them by your side. It's hard, I must tell you. Those who are married will understand. It's really, really hard when you are not with your family, when you're not with your son, you're not with. I miss my son. I mean, 6 months in his life. I missed it. So when I came, he was looking at me with caution, like, who is this person? I think he has forgotten a bit that I'm his daddy. So he was looking at me. And after a few days, we bonded again. So please do that. And I must say this, that sincerely, it can be a bit tasking for ladies who are here and they want their husband to join them. It's easier for the wife to join. I'm not saying in the processing of document, in the VO's uh, assessment, because they go and have that interview. From experience, we have discovered that women or ladies find it easier to get their F2 visa than men. Of course, I know there's that sense of it's possible for a woman to be the housewife, but it's not possible for the husband to be the house husband because there is a restriction on F2 visa. And the restriction is that you must not work officially. You must not work. You cannot work. You cannot have SSN, so you cannot get job. Understand that kind of thing. So most VOs, they are very, what's the word now? I don't know the word they used, no, but the mindset thinking that would the man be able to do without working, without doing some hustle. And from experience, we've seen some men who, once they got in on F2, they, of course, it's hard for men to sit at home. So you understand that. But we've also seen those who got their F2 visa, men or women, regardless of that, of whatever. The situation will be different from every other person. Okay, so please start processing their F2 visa. Your child, your daughter, whatever one, get them to come. Okay, you don't have any reason to keep them in Nigeria. They can start going to schools here. They can start going to some earlier start, whichever way it is. I have a video on YouTube on how to get F2 visa, F1 visa, and all these stuff. Right, I think that is that. About that.
Sorry, I have a question.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, let's assume you are.
So, okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Before you talk now, can you introduce yourself and tell us your course, your school? Because of some people who are watching on YouTube, some are saying, can they introduce themselves, program level one more time? They just want to know what you do. Maybe they want to get encouraged too.
All right, my name is Olatunji Ayobami, and I am here in Western Illinois University in Macomb. So I am into computer science. So I'm doing my master's here in computer science, and I got here just like a week ago. So I'm a fresher here too. So now my question is, let's assume that you are married and you have a kid, and you want to move your kid down here, and your visa is just for 5 years or thereabout. And after 5 years, your visa expires, and you have to go back to your country. Will that affect your child also, who you have moved down here, who is in school or somewhere? Will that affect the person?
Yes. So let me answer that. I don't know if you are from Nigeria, you would have discovered that the visa you were given is a 3-year visa. How many people observe that? Even though you are doing a 5-year course, so whatever.
Yes.
It's 2 years now.
Yeah, 2 years. So the first thing you must know about visa is that visa is required for entry, not required to stay.
Yes.
Okay. So visa is required for entry. What is binding you here, what determines your stay here is your I-20.
Yeah.
The date written on your I-20 is what determines how long you can stay. Okay. Even when your visa expires, so far your I-20 is still intact, that you are good to go. So now, if when your child comes here, so your child will have his own I-20, his own I-20. So even when his or her visa expires, I-20 determines how long he or she can stay. Now, when you graduate, you can you have the option of what we call OTP,
Sure.
OPT rather. Did I say OTP?
Yeah.
OPT, optional practical training, okay, which can extend your stay for you to be able to get a job. So you keep getting documents that can extend your stay, even though your original visa has expired. But nothing stops you from staying once you are able to extend those stay. It extends your I-20, it extends the date on it, you get another new date. Everybody, your family gets a new date, and you all can stay longer. And you can continue to stay longer till you get a job. Once you get a job, you get a new document that can tell you how long you can stay. Okay, so
Okay.
if your children are able to get such extension, if you go back to Nigeria, for example, you just need a visa to be able to enter the US again.
Okay. So the
That
last
situation,
question.
you go to the embassy and then apply for a visa.
Okay, the last question, please, is in two ways. Okay, I know in UK that if you stayed for 10 years or thereabout, if you legally stay for 10 years, you can apply to be a citizen of United Kingdom without any other thing. So far, you can stay for 10 years and you cleared all the bills, you can apply, which can be considered. But is there anything like that here in the United States? Like if you stay for like a certain period of years legally and you paid all your bills, you don't have any criminal record and all like that. Is there something like that here, or there's nothing like that?
So let me talk. I didn't talk about tax for some reason. You will figure out what you will do on tax yourself. But you should know that every year there's what they call tax returns in the US, where people file tax return and they're able to get some returns on the tax that was paid the previous year. Okay? And there are so many tax return platforms, those who can help people file tax and so many things. You will learn that from whatever platform they use in your school or whatever your senior colleagues are using. You can also follow that pattern. Now, for tax purposes, anyone who stays in the US for 5 years is considered not a resident alien. Presently now, you are a non-resident alien. For tax purposes, those people can make, after 5 years, you are considered a resident alien. Now, all this permanent stay, all these green card or whatever, are what people apply for. Once you graduate, you can start applying for those things actually. For example, there are different parts to these things. For example, some people will get a job that will offer them the ability to be able to apply for that permanent stay to become a resident. Okay. For example, if you get a very good job, you can get a job can file for you and you become a permanent resident. Get your PR. Okay. Another way for researchers, many of us are researchers. I should have talked about that too when I was talking about starting early for researchers. There are different routes to get that PR. One of the routes is through research. There is what they call this, is it NW? I can't remember the name, but I'll just explain what it's all about. It's about the fact that if you can prove that you are a scientist and you are you do research in one of the critical areas in the US where services of international personnel are needed, they can grant you permanent stay, permanent residency on that ground. And then, of course, science and technology, basically, and some other research where we don't have much US citizens functioning in. The one way to do that is to publish papers. If you have like 2 papers and you're able to apply for that, of course, it will require getting a lawyer, doing all those stuff. You can go through that part to become a permanent resident. Okay? Because what you are doing is so critical. They can't do without you. And that you can do it yourself even without having to have secured an employment in a company. Of course, another option is securing a good employment and the company files for you. And there are so many other options out there, which, of course, I've not explored, I've not studied because probably I've not needed them now. But for me, I'm eyeing that part of becoming a researcher of influence where I can show them that I'm a researcher, I'm a scientist, I've published papers, I'm in I'm in the area of critical need. Okay, and then I get the PR through that means. Did I answer your question?
Yes, you did. Thank you.
Okay.
You did.
Okay,
Thank
good.
All right.
All right. Any other question? All right. Let's do something for the sake of those who are asking on YouTube. Can we just make something like an introduction again, and then to say what you are doing? You may want to do shout out to anybody here, to probably someone you've seen from your school, whatever.
Yeah.
And then
We're not many,
just
so I think from your roll call there, just call the person does that.
okay. So the first person there I have Aminat.
I'm seeing all my makeup though.
Oh.
Aminat is I on makeup. No problem. Just introduce yourself. If you don't want to turn on video, it's fine. Though we appreciate it more if you turn on your video, but if you don't want to,
That's fine.
yeah.
So my name is Amina Ibrahim. I'm a first year PhD student at Cornell University.
Okpo. And you are a
Working
scholar.
an RA as a TA, and I'm currently on a fellowship. So I got here like a few days ago on Monday. Yeah, and I'm trying as much as possible to blend in to the system. So
Cornell is a big school.
thank you. My course is biomedical engineering, and I'm looking towards cardiovascular disease research, probably applying biomaterials and tissue engineering or bioinstrumentation to solve.
People are doing shout out to you on YouTube already.
Thank you. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you.
All right. I have Temilade, your next. Temilade, you can come on, yeah.
Hi, so I'm a first year PhD student at Baylor University. I'm doing my PhD in chemistry and biochemistry, but I'm focusing on biochemistry side of it. Thanks.
Okay, beautiful. Olayinka, you can turn on the video if you don't want to, that's fine, but we'd love to see your face too. So Olayinka, you're next. Okay, let me come back to Olayinka. Let's have Oluwatimileyin.
Yeah, I'm Timileyin, Oluwatimileyin Oluwajiri.
You don't want to show your face too?
Don't mind me. I'm not I'm not putting on my clothes.
Okay. Please don't show it.
So I'm a new PhD student in as mechanical engineering, North Carolina State University at Raleigh. So I'm a teaching assistant, and I'm just getting here like last week, and adapting has been going on. It's been great all along. Thank you.
Okay, beautiful. I mean that someone is citing you all the way from Italy, AY and Matt, saying hi from Italy. They are greeting. You are too popular.
Yeah, that's my friend. Thanks, AY.
Oh, I will come down. So next one, let's see. Joseph, you are ready. Let's have you then.
Okay, hi guys. My name is Monsi Joseph, and I'm a PhD student at the University of Accra, Polymer Engineering.
Polymer Engineering, Washiri. All right, good. Thank you. Let's Adebola. Let's have you.
Okay. Good day, guys. My name is Shashiri Adebola. I'm a PhD student in physics at the University of Idaho in Moscow, Idaho, USA. I'm a teaching assistant. I came into the USA last week, Friday.
Last week, Friday. Physics. What aspect of physics are you doing stuff on?
I should be focusing on either biophysics or nuclear physics.
Oh, I'm in nuclear, just in case. Anyway.
Oh, okay, no problem, sir. I
I'm
actually do
working on.
my masters, yeah. So I'm looking towards biophysics or nuclear.
So I'm working on nuclear structure actually.
Okay, sir. I definitely will stay in touch.
All right,
yeah,
good.
stay in touch. All right. Okay.
Umbarak, it seems you are ready too.
Hi, my name is Mujinala Mubarak. I graduated from the greatest university of Ibadan. I'm a first-year PhD student at the University of Iowa, and my program is Educational Measurement and Statistics, though I'll be focusing on applied statistics in education. So thank you very much. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. You know, you are a testimony to many people that are saying that, education, we can't get assistantship, blah, 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 blah. And I'm saying it's out there, out there. All right, let's have, who's next? Have we had Temilade already? Temilade? Okay, she's not, he or she is not ready. Olayinka, okay, we called the other time, he's not ready yet. We've had Oluwatimileyin. Taufik, let's have you.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Taufik. Sorry, I won't be able to show my face. I'm from the University of Florida. I'll be pursuing a PhD in chemical engineering. My research interest is broadly within electrochemistry of materials, energy storage devices to be precise, or electrochemistry or semiconductor or material processing. So yeah, so one of those two, yeah. Thank you very much.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
The UF is just like 1 hour away from us here.
Yeah.
I passed through your city. I mean, was it on Friday? When I was going to Jacksonville? On Wednesday, I was going to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
All right, beautiful.
Thank you very much.
All right, Itsuno, let's have you. My wife's namesake. That's my wife's namesake. Itsuno Olufemi. Before you talk, you know, my wife used to say something. Okay. My wife used to say that everybody bearing Itsuno is always beautiful. Don't mind me. She wants to brag. She loves bragging.
Okay.
All right.
Hi, everyone. My name is Itsuno Olufemi, and I studied mathematics education at the University of Lagos as well. And I'm currently doing my master's degree in computer science and quantitative methods. And I'll be concentrating in predictive analytics. And I'm also a graduate teaching assistant. And I recently got here. I think I got here on the 4th. Yeah, on the 4th.
Before you stop, can you tell us something? Many people ask questions about how do I switch? For example, now you did education, mathematics. Now you are doing something on computer stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so how did you switch? Can you just talk about it in a few minutes? Some people on Twitter, on YouTube will be watching.
Okay, so I think where I worked before coming here, I got a bit of experience, and that was where I took the interest. Okay, so I worked with a technology education company that was focused on helping Africans learn tech skills. Okay, so there I was able to learn different skills like data analytics and all of that, and that was where I picked the interest and I started to learn and got some certifications as well. And yeah, that was where I picked the
So would you say those certifications helped you in your application?
No, I think the background doesn't really matter. The background doesn't really matter, really. It wasn't like a contributing factor, but I mean, the background doesn't matter. You don't need to have tech background. You don't need to have, even as an education student, you don't need to have a tech background. You don't need to have any experience to transition to being a computer scientist or whatever. You don't really need to have any.
But if I ask a question, what do you think was responsible for you being chosen, being accepted and funded? What do you think will be the factor? What are the things you wrote in your SOP? What are the things that that is in your transcript? Okay, of course, transcript is always transcript. What are the things you think you wrote in your SOP? Yeah, your experiences.
Okay, so So I think in my SOP, I lead the Nigerian chapter of Women in Big Data, and I mean that was one of the contributing factor. Okay, and I mean I was able to also help. Okay, so how do I link this actually? Okay, so the education part of it was there because I was able to help a lot of people transition to data analytics career path. And then I myself also took some certifications in data analytics and all of that. I did I took some certifications. I did in Microsoft. I did some other certification programs as well. And then I also help in upskilling women in the big data field and all of that. So I think those are the things that actually contributed to this actually.
Yeah, if I was on the graduate committee too, based on what you said, I would have chosen you too. Good job.
Thank you.
All right. Let's have Jimmy. Tell us something.
Hello guys, how are you?
Yeah,
my name is Jimmy Ochieng from Kenya, and I've joined Indiana University at Bloomington this fall for a PhD in communication studies.
Communication studies?
Studies, yes.
Oh, beautiful. And then let's have Osamu. I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce that well. Osamu. Osamu, are you there? Okay, probably not yet. Let's have Samuel, my namesake. Samuel Akinjole. Samuel is probably not. Okay,
yeah. Can you hear me? Sorry, I'm in a kind of a noisy area. Okay, so I'm Samuel Akinjole by name. I'll be resuming to Drexel for my PhD in environmental engineering. I'm still in Nigeria by the way.
Okay. All right, beautiful. Thank you for joining. When is your flight? When are you flying in?
Yeah, September 2. So I think I'll arrive 3rd of September.
When is your school resumption date?
September 20.
Okay, and that is what is written on your I-20?
Yeah, that's what's written.
Okay, beautiful. Because people have issues with the what do you call them now? At the point of entry, if the date, the I-20 does not tally with when they are coming in. We've had a situation when some people are sent back because they came late.
Oh, okay. No, that's fine. Yeah.
All right, David, let's have you. David.
Oh, sorry. Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is David. Yes, I'm a first-year PhD at the University of Houston, Texas, and I'm going for chemistry, precisely medicinal chemistry. I'll be researching on drug design and discovery. Thank you.
Oh, David, there's a huge Nigerian community in Texas, in Houston. I think Houston specifically. Huge Nigerian community. Take advantage of that. I think Adekunle Gold is there too now.
Adekunle Gold. I don't know about that. And honestly, since I came in, I've not seen any Nigerian. I'm alone. Like,
really?
For a year. I don't.
Oh, really?
I'm telling you, yes. So I'm hoping when school, it's probably because I'm still on isolation. So I hope when school resumes, I'll be able to meet people. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah. There's a huge community. There are friends in Texas, in Houston. I have a friend in Houston, and I know the way the community is. They're like not even students now. Nigerians who are working already, who are hustling big time. Yeah, you meet them, play ball, they do all those stuff. You meet them just in time.
All right, thank you, sir.
All right, Mujid, let's have you. Mujid.
Hi everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Mojid Abisiga. I graduated from the University of Lagos, mathematics department in 2018. Then I'm here for my master's in informatics and analytics from the University of North Carolina. And yes, basically that's it.
Okay,
Thank you.
beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful. All right. I think, hi, Obami, have we taken you? Have we received you? I
Yes,
think so.
I
Okay,
started
yeah.
the
So,
conversation.
all right. I think we have everyone represented now. All right, that's beautiful. Let me answer one or two
Can I say
questions.
something, please?
Yes, please, you can.
Okay, so it is just like a general advice. You know, a lot of us, even during from application time to when we arrive in the US, a lot of us received different forms of help and assistance. So I just want to encourage each and every one of us, when the time is right, when the next set will come in, when people reach out to you for help, I hope you'll be ready, very ready to render that help and have time for them. That's just what I want to say.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you. And I was going to say, okay, after this question, after the questions, I will say this, what I want to say to round up. There's a question there that said, I'd like to know what your recommendation is as regards someone, academic and research preparation, for someone who has deferred a PhD admit for the fall to spring. Okay, so Ladam Live, you have deferred, this is from YouTube. If you have deferred your admission from fall to spring, I think what you should start doing is, if you have a potential advisor, contact the professor and ask what preparation you should start making, what you should start studying. Again, if one thing you can do again is contact the present students there, let them, if you can ask about the materials they are studying, which book they are using, all those stuff, you can start reading those stuff pending that time. Okay. Victor says, okay, does this F2 works for one's fiancé? That's from Success on YouTube. How about people that are fiancé, not married? It does not work for fiancé. It does not work for girlfriend. It only works for wife. So you need to go and marry that young lady if you want her to be on F2 with you. Go and marry. You can go back to Nigeria. You can go to Nigeria and marry. I mean, it's friends go to Nigeria, they marry and come back with their wife. They apply together. So you can actually do that. But it only works for wife, not fiancé. What is what was well, yeah. Okay, Victor, I understand your point. Now you got a TA. You are just asking about what works well here. All right. So thank you everyone for coming. My last statement would be that it is also, I know we'll be very busy now. Everyone who comes into graduate school will become very, very busy. Sometimes you have to go to lab. For example, today is Saturday, I'm in the lab now. After this, I will do some work, do my graph, do some posters, just prepare some slides and lyrics. We know you become busy. Sometimes you come around on Sunday. I come here on Sundays sometimes after church service. Sometimes, of course, we spend the night here sometimes when we have to do research, experiments, and we have to be on on what do you call it, overnight. We have to take shifts overnight. So I come here, do all those stuff. But please, if you need to help others to, those information you got during the time you were preparing, those things that you think help you to get to where you are, and particularly even interested in it's no story too. I know many people who are trying to find something about transitioning. I received that question a lot. I have a friend who transitioned from physics to data analytics. That's what he's doing. And I use the story as an example to many people. Now I have it a new story now. And I can also use to encourage people. Okay. So please help people. I know many people saw this meeting, info about this meeting on Twitter. If you can put out the information on Twitter too. I think Aminat has been doing something like that. Someone was saying that she read about her on Twitter, that she saw out in that regard, talking about being a fellow and all those stuff. So please help as many people as possible. Put the information out there. Let people get to know how they can do all these things. You see, during my time when I was coming up, I didn't know all this information. It was applying, doing trial and error. And I saw 2 or 3 friends who did US and they left the country, and I'm like, oh, I think I also do this US. So like, I'm tired with all this Europe palaver. And then I switched. I started doing US too. So please help people as much as possible. Say when we all win, or someone used to say it on Twitter, Aaron used to say, we have not won until we all win, something like that. Okay, so it's always beautiful that people are getting this information. There are very many good people in Nigeria who need such mentorship. So someone is saying here on YouTube that please, the guys on board, share with us here so we can connect. Social handles. Okay, so someone wants a social handle. So this is what will happen. Maybe on Twitter after this meeting, just tag me, tag anybody, just write about this meeting, something like that, so that people can connect with you. Olayemi Olaoluwa Samuel is saying, please, the guys on board can share their social handles with us here so we can connect. All right, so share your social media handles. Let people be able to connect to you. So after this meeting, you can just write a little bit about me. Just tag me. I will share it. I will follow you. When I share it, people who are watching this will also be able to see it and follow you too. So that you see, for me, there is only a limit to. Someone was accusing me on YouTube here that I didn't respond to his DM. I say there is a limit to the DMs that I can respond to. There's a limit to what a single person can do. But when there are many people doing it, people will get that information readily. People want to ask questions. They don't need to have to depend on just one person to respond to them. They can ask any question I will be able to respond to. I believe any of you can respond to the question even better. Okay, because even you guys are still fresh in the process. So they'll be able to send messages to you and get a response back. And they're also trained on how to transition here. You will meet many Nigerians here, and I tell you, when you start meeting Nigerians, you get to discover that there are very many people, most of Nigerians that meet here are professionals, those who have studied and have become nurses, doctors, pharmacists, whatever. There are so many here, and I've seen so many. I think I've seen more of Nigerians in the medical profession than I've seen in any other field. Aside students, most of Nigerians I've met are either doctors, nurses, pharmacists, or whatever. So please, let's share the information. Let's help others who want this same dream, want their dream to come true. We're still Nigeria. Let's help them make it a reality. Thank you so much for attending this today. I'm really proud of you guys. And if there's any issue with anything that has to do with your staying in this country, of course, you can reach out to me. You can reach out to any other person who is in this clique on Twitter, the way we do it. God bless you real good. Yeah, I would still love to ask some more questions from you. Let's try and connect. Maybe did you get this information about the meeting on Twitter? You got the information on Twitter, right?
Yeah, I got it from my former colleague.
On Twitter?
Yeah, on Twitter, yeah.
Okay, so you can shoot me a message on Twitter. Let's connect. I'll still love to have some further discussions on that, okay?
All right, thank you. Thanks for the great session. It was amazing.
All right. Please, we all have a great time. God bless you. Real good.
Thank you, Mr. Samuel.
You're very much welcome.
Thank you.
All right, Samuel.
Thank you, Mr. Samuel. Have a nice day.
Yeah, you too have a nice day. So folks are dropping their contact and the link so you can connect with anyone you want to connect with. Alfik, you are very much welcome. Temi, you are welcome. All right, I'm going to end the meeting now. Thank you so much. God bless you.